Hey guys, this is Andrew, and I wanted to do a bit of a review of Watamote, both the anime and the manga. I wanted to do a quick one of this, well, not quick, but I wanted to do a review of it, just to tell you if it's worth watching, give you some details about the characters, and just give you a general overview of what it's about, who made it, and a little bit about the animation. So, I will say this. It was about, let's go with the first two. It's by Nico Taninagawa, and this is all his stuff right here. This is literally what I could find of what he's made so far. So the story first, I'll go with the story, and then I'll talk about the characters, and then negatives and positives. So let's start with the story. So the story is about a girl entering high school. She doesn't have any friends, so she's hoping to be popular in high school. But as the year goes by and the days go by, she realizes that she's actually just a really awkward person, has no friends, and it's about her day-to-day life and what transpires both in her life and during the school day also. So this is it's really good. If you have trouble, if you've had or are having trouble making friends, are socially awkward, are just a bit nerdy like I am, or you like video games or something like that, this is a character you'll definitely relate to and identify with. She's a bit dirty-minded. She's very, I don't think pessimistic is the right word. I would say maybe cynical is a better word. But it's a really fun show to watch and a thing to watch. I think I'll go a little bit into the main character first. I'll go to supporting characters because the main show is about Tomoko Karaoke, which is the main character. So she's socially awkward. Like I said, she's dirty-minded. She's a bit self-centered, but she's a nerd. For a bit of the anime and the manga, they're pretty much kind of the same. Like, it follows thoroughly through. A lot of her jokes are dirty-minded. She's really socially awkward. Like, there's her first time talking to somebody. There's really good memes out there with her on it, and some of it's not like you need to change the image or anything. Literally, just some of the panels are just amazing to read. Even just out of context, they're amazing to read. So she's definitely non-athletic. I really relate with her a lot because we share the same traits. And it's the one thing is you'll notice that she has really dark circles, and you never really see that in anime characters or anything that I've seen in anime or manga, unless the person's really tired. That's the only time they'll have it. I haven't seen anyone that really has these kind of circles. And if you're a person that's wearing glasses, or you're a person that's maybe doesn't get a proper amount of sleep, or maybe too much sleep, little sleep, this is a character for you. I have natural bags under my eyes, always. Sometimes it'll be darker, sometimes it'll be a little bit lighter, but I will always have dark circles around my eyes. So it's one of the things that for me it really made me relate to her, especially with her personality. She has maybe one friend, but she didn't go to high school with because she went somewhere else. So she has one middle school friend, but that's it. They don't even talk that much either. She's non-athletic, things like that. We'll start with, let's see, there's two other characters. So there's one that's her younger brother, which honestly, it's the most fun. The most fun panels you'll see in the beginning, where she doesn't really talk to anyone, and she doesn't talk to anyone for a while. That's why I'm only putting two characters. Is between her and Tomoki, and that's her younger brother. It's amazing. The panels, the anime, whichever one you watch, it's amazing. It's crazy good. It's crazy funny. I just really enjoy it. It's super fun to watch. What they say is really golden. Like Tomoki is the complete opposite of her. He's popular. He can talk. He's social. He's athletic. He necessarily doesn't like to necessarily talk to a lot of people, though. No, but he's socially active, unlike her, where she can't be socially active. Like, it's just her personality. Another one is Yu, who is her friend from middle school. She's the complete opposite as well. She used to be this kind of the same as her in middle school, but she finally changed. She got a complete makeover. She is social. She's had a boyfriend, and she's actually has a lot of friends. So she's definitely changed herself a bit in that manner. So I want to start with the negatives before I start with the positives, because I feel like a lot of people put in negatives first, which then kind of puts a damper on the story. So the negatives I'll say in general is that if you watch the anime or you watch the manga, the biggest complaint you're going to get is not that it's bad animation, it's bad character design, it's bad quality. It's that a lot of the content is really kind of too relatable or too cringy at some points, where you're kind of like, you feel uncomfortable for the character and for the situation itself that it's around, mainly because sometimes the author did an amazing job, because it's so accurate to what a person that has anxiety or has trouble really making friends or talking to anybody has. Like, this right there, that's amazing. Like, they were spot on to the point where it makes me feel uncomfortable being in that situation, but a person that's been in that situation before kind of feels and understands what the character is going through at that moment. So it really is an uncomfortable thing to watch. That's why it's, again, like one of those things where you're probably going to be like, kind of uncomfortable. Sometimes the jokes and the humor can be a little bit more on the dry side, especially if you're binge reading it, because Tomoko can be a little bit, I'd say a little bit overly cynical, to the point where you're like, you already know what she's thinking, or she's like a hypocrite in some sense, where she's just like, you already know what's going to happen, or you just kind of like, you're kind of done with that feeling for a while, so you kind of have to take a little bit of breaks, which is understandable, considering that, there's a lot of anime that are kind of the same. A lot of anime that have that same feeling for it. They do the same things over and over again, like I said. So sometimes you do need to take a little bit of a break, just because it can be either, really awkward or just really dry humor. The harder thing about the manga itself, because the anime hasn't caught up at all, and I don't know if there's going to be a season 2, but in the manga, it's a lot more difficult, because on the newer side of the spectrum for the manga, there's a lot of characters that get introduced. Some gradually, some not gradually, but it's a lot of names or faces to remember, because sometimes I'll confuse characters for another character just because their face design is a little bit too much of the same. So that is one issue that I really have, because I like the series. I love the series. I really do. But it's really hard to differentiate the characters, which kind of makes it kind of crap. But let's move on to the good parts of it. So the good parts for me is the main character itself. Tomoko is, again, like I said, she's really relatable. She's like me. She has no friends. She's a gamer. She loves anime and manga. She's socially awkward. She tends to be dry, or she tends to be cynical, maybe self-centered, dirty-minded. Like, literally, like, that's, I say Sakurai is like relatable to me and Uzaki-chan, but definitely, like, Hiroki, without a doubt, is exactly, like, really the second closest character that I can relate to in any anime that I've ever seen. The first one I'm relatable to. I will do maybe a video about it later. But she is definitely the most second relatable character, and I think it's going to be a relatable character for a lot of people. So what I can say is that the animation for both the anime or the style for the manga is super nice. Like it's not just nice, like, oh, it's a nice animation, it's really beautiful to watch the scenery. I'm saying that it's really nice in another spectrum where, unlike Tomo as a girl, it's really easy to see the reactions on characters' faces, even ones that are as drawn as simply as this character right here. Like, you can see the emotion, you can see the thought process. It's really nice to see it. It's definitely one of those simplistic, fun things that you can, you see in a character. So, in my opinion, I would definitely give it a watch. It's nice to get away from a slice of life anime that isn't like about romance, like at all. Like, there's no real romance in it. There's some light hints of romance, but not for the main character, which I love. It's a good break from slice of life animes that kind of have that overtone, and this doesn't really have that overtone of oh, she's gonna fall in love and that's gonna be the end of the story. It's a really nice story just about a socially awkward person making friends. Like, that's what I love, and it's a completely different scenario and a different feeling than you would get from watching like Homie Can't Communicate, which is it's good. I've been reading it lately, but it's a completely different feeling, and it's a more relatable feeling to me for from Watamote. Like, Watamote is super relatable and just super fun to watch and read, and it's definitely a different feeling that I would get from reading the other one. So I'm not saying it's bad, the other one's bad. I'm just saying it's a different feeling that I tend to like a little bit more. So in my opinion, I would definitely give it a watch. I would give like the anime like 2 or 3 episodes to really get into it, because it always takes 2 or 3 episodes to get into something. For the manga, I would either like start from chapter 1 maybe through 10, to really give you a good feeling. Again, that's up to you. I would say definitely watch it. Like, it's been one of my favorite mangas ever. Like, I've read it 3 times over. It's still coming out, by the way. It's still coming out as far as I know from recording this right now. It's still coming out. It's still really nice to watch. So I definitely think you guys should give it a watch. Give it a watch, give it a read. Tell me what you think about it. And that's all I want to say about that. Hope you guys have a nice day. Hope your day is as awesome as you are. And I'll see you later.